Dear students, the question which was given day before yesterday, today I am going to give you the working on that question. So let us begin. Here in this question, if you have gone through already, assets realized by the liquidator is given. So the total value of the assets is given. We enter into the asset side. It is given for 17 lakhs as the book value, and it is given that assets are realized for 70%. It amounts to 11 lakhs 90,000. And in addition, if you go through the balance sheet, cash is also given for rupees 80,000. Cash balance is available in the balance sheet for rupees 80,000. And to the asset side, as usual, first we are going to make the payment for secured creditors, and in the question it is given of the total creditors 2,25,000 is secured. So we can enter for 2,25,000 as the secured creditors, and the next point is given for liquidation expenses, which is very clearly given in the question for rupees 35,000. And the third payment in the order should go for liquidator's remuneration. Liquidator is given two remunerations. First one, it is given that liquidator is entitled to a remuneration of 3% on assets realized. 3% of assets realized excluding cash is given. So that amounts to 11 lakhs 90,000. If you calculate, it comes to 35,700, and he is paid with an additional remuneration at the rate of 4% on the amount distributed to unsecured creditors. Right? Unsecured creditor. Here I can show you the calculation also. Total creditors given in the balance sheet is for rupees 3,85,000. In that, preferential creditors are given for rupees 30,000. Balance amounts to 3,55,000. In that, we have already calculated the secured creditors for rupees 2,25,000. Now the balance for amounted to 1,30,000. This we are going to call it as the unsecured creditor. On this 1,30,000 of unsecured creditor, liquidator is to be paid with the remuneration at the rate of 4%. It amounts to 5,200. That is the third payment. And the fourth payment that we have to make for debenture holders. For debenture holders, we make the first payment as 5% debentures, which is given as per the balance sheet for 4 lakhs is given. Debenture holders, we have got 4 lakh rupees as per the balance sheet, and there is no any arrears of interest to be paid for debenture holders. So that is 4 lakhs. Next, if we have to pay for the preferential creditors, as I have told you here, it is given in the question for rupees 30,000, and the next payment in the order will go for unsecured creditors, which also we have already calculated for rupees 1,30,000, and the seventh payment should go for calls in advance. But in the question, calls in advance is not available. So we move on to the next payment for preference share holders. For preference share holders, it is given in the question that 6% cumulative preference share capital is given for rupees 6 lakhs 25,000 is given in the balance sheet, that we have to make the full payment, and we have to make for preference shareholders arrears of preference dividend also, arrears of preference dividend, and it is given that dividend is arrears for 2 years. So 6,25,000 into 6% dividend rate, arrears for 2 years amounts to rupees 75,000. This is amounting to rupees 75,000. So if we have made all these payments, now we check out what is the position of the liquidator to make the payment of balance amount. Now, as such, I can tell you that by just observation, you can tell here 11,90,000 plus 80,000 will come to 12,70,000. But if you check this payment together, it is not less than 12,70,000. It is going to be more than 12,70,000, which is not possible because our receipts is only for 12,70,000. You can make payment only to the extent of the amount available. So when it is exceeding the cash here, there is a direct assumption that we are not going to make any payment for equity shareholders. This is a different case, and we are not going to come across all these questions again and again, because every question we are going to approach with the new topics. And here, as I told you, in the examination you may come across this situation where payment what you have made up to preference shareholders is exceeding the cash what is available to our disposal. So in such cases, we are not going to make the payment for equity shareholders. You have to stop the payment of preference shareholders only. But up to this only, how much is shortage? Up to this payment only, how much is shortage we have to calculate. That is the point number 1. Point number 2 is how to adjust that difference or deficiency of cash for making this whole payment. That is the point number 2. Point number 3 is how to collect the amount on calls on shares from other partly paid shares. So that is all the 3 important procedures that we are going to take up for our calculation work. So now you can observe how I do this calculation work, right? So first let me take for the total receipts as available in the question. 12,70,000 is the cash available. In that we are going to deduct the payments that we have made. Don't take preference shares and equity shares. You are going to take only the payment up to unsecured creditors. And if you check that payment for all these together, it may come to 8,60,900. I am getting the total for 8,60,000. As I have marked here, my payment is only considered up to unsecured creditor. I have not taken the preference share capital for consideration, right? So now if you deduct this, now the cash available is for 4,09,100. The cash available is 4,09,100. In that, now if we have to make for the preference share holders payment is 6,25,000 plus 75,000. 6,25,000 plus 75,000 dividend, which amounts to the total payment for 7 lakhs we have to make, right? From this you deduct the cash available. you can deduct the cash available, which is rupees 4,09,100 is the cash available. If we deduct now the amount of cash that we need to adjust for payment is 2,90,900. Hope it is very clear. So this is required amount of cash. This is one part of calculation. As I told you, there are 3 calculations that we have to do. First is we have done how much is the payment we have to make and how much is the shortage cash that we need to adjust without considering equity shares. Here we have not considered any equity shares into consideration. Right. Now we need the amount of 2,90,900. In that we are going to collect calls on equity shares. Calls on equity shares, if you check here, there are 2 groups of equity shares that you can come across in the balance sheet. First one is 4,000 equity shares of rupees 100 each, 60 paid. Another group is 8,000 equity shares of rupees 100 each, 70 paid. So you have to make this paid up value for both the shares equal. You have to make both the shares paid up value to become equal. So for that what you need to do is, this 60 rupees shareholders for 4,000 shares, you need to ask them to pay a call money of rupees 10 each. So calls on shares now at the first stage, I am collecting for 4,000 into 10, that comes for 40,000 rupees. I can collect. Now the amount required for payment is 2,50,900. We need the payment. But now what happened is, this 4,000 shares are also now made the payment for 10 rupees. Earlier they have paid for 60 rupees as per balance sheet. Now we have collected another 10 rupees as the call money on these shares. So they have become now the shares of rupees 70 each, and already 8,000 shares are having. This is also 70 rupees paid up. This is also 70 rupees paid up. Now you can take the total for these two, because their paid up value is equal. You can take it as 12,000. This is all, we consider it as the number of shares. So this, if you calculate per share value, it comes to 20.908. Per share value it comes to 20.908. Now how much to collect? How much to collect is the question. See, for 4,000 shares, on 4,000 shares, we have to collect for 10 rupees as the surplus amount we have to collect, plus 20 rupees 9.8 paise we have to collect. So together it is 30.908 we have to collect from 4,000 shares, and from 8,000 shares they are not going to pay you anything for surplus. So you can take it only for direct calculation. You take this as a direct calculation itself, right? So here 10 rupees surplus payment plus 20.908 is the per share value to be collected in common basis. So 30.908, if you collect for this, it comes to 1,23,633. It comes to 1,23,633. And if you collect for these shares, it may come to 1,67,267 rupees. 1,67,267. Now you observe, let me tell you clearly, these last figures I have rounded off to 10. Because of that I have adjusted this fractional amount. Is it right? When you calculate and multiply exactly, it may not come to this amount. So, but because you have to round off this to the nearest 0, I have rounded off to 3 and 7. So that it becomes equal to 2,50,900 rupees. Right? So whatever we calculated, now we are going to enter into the statement. So third point of receipt is calls on shares. Calls on shares we are going to enter now. So for 4,000 shares into 30.908 and for 8,000 shares 20.908. If you enter the calculated amount 1,23,633, 1,67,267. What I calculated here, that I have written in the statement also. Now we are going to close down the statement, and the statement may become equal for 15,60,000. The statement on both the sides will become equal for 15,60,000. This is what you need to do for working to the question which was given day before yesterday to all of you. So have the question and follow my working. Anywhere if you need any clarification, you can very free to contact me. I will help you. Thank you.